My fiancée called my brother a slur, so I called off the wedding. I never thought my engagement would end like this. For months, I was preparing to marry someone I believed was the love of my life. Her name was Karen, and when we first got together, I genuinely thought we were building something strong, something lasting. She was sweet, funny, charming when she wanted to be, and for a while, I thought we saw the world through similar lenses. But all of that came crashing down over one conversation, one cruel sentence, and one line I simply could not allow her to cross. It started with the wedding guest list. We'd been engaged for a little over 6 months, and we'd finally set a date for the ceremony. Things were moving quickly, but that was fine with me. I was excited. I was ready. I'd been dreaming of this moment, starting my own family, committing to someone, building a life, and I wanted everyone I loved to be there for it, especially my little brother Sam. Sam and I aren't just close. We're inseparable. We grew up in a household that wasn't exactly the model of stability. Our parents weren't abusive or anything like that, but they were careless, distracted, always chasing something. Money, nightlife, each other, who knows? That left Sam and me to fend for ourselves most of the time. They'd drop us off at our grandmother's house on weekends, sometimes unannounced, and disappear for the night or the whole weekend. As the older sibling, I took on more and more responsibility as the years went by. By the time I was 15, I was the one packing his school lunch, helping him with homework, even tucking him into bed when Grandma fell asleep in her recliner by 8:30 p.m. It wasn't always easy, but it made us closer than most siblings ever get. He wasn't just my brother. He was my best friend, my little shadow, the one person I'd go to war for without a second thought. So when Karen casually told me that she didn't want Sam at our wedding, I thought I had misunderstood. "What do you mean, not invite Sam?" I asked, confused, trying to keep my voice calm. Maybe she had some logistical concern, or maybe she thought he couldn't make the trip. Surely it wasn't anything serious. I waited for an explanation that never came. She just shrugged and said, "I don't think it's a good idea." That's it. No reason, no context. Just a vague dismissal, like Sam was some extra name on the list we could do without. I pushed back immediately. "Karen, that's not up for debate. Sam has to be there. He's family. My family." She sighed like she was the one being inconvenienced, not me. "Let's just drop it for now." But I couldn't, and I didn't. Over the next few days, we argued about it more than once. Each time, I asked her why, and each time she danced around the answer like it was some big secret she didn't want to say out loud. I had my suspicions, sure, but I didn't want to believe them. Then, a few nights ago, the truth came out. We were sitting on the couch going over the final seating chart. I asked one more time, firmly but calmly, why she didn't want Sam at the wedding. I told her I needed to know, once and for all, because I wasn't going to keep tiptoeing around it. And that's when she said it. She rolled her eyes and snapped, "Because he's nasty. My parents would be horrified if someone like him showed up. You know how they feel about that kind of lifestyle." My stomach dropped. That kind of lifestyle. The words echoed in my ears. I felt like I'd been punched. Sam came out to me when he was 20. I still remember it like it was yesterday. We were sitting in a park watching the sun go down, and he just told me. Nervously, gently, testing the waters to see if I'd still love him after. I remember him bracing for my reaction like he expected me to change, to flinch, to walk away. But I didn't. I told him I loved him exactly the same, and that nothing would ever make me see him differently. I promised him then that I'd always protect him, always stand by him, and I meant it. So hearing Karen, the woman I was supposed to marry, call my brother a slur, then reduce his identity to something shameful and unworthy of inclusion was truly unbearable. I went quiet for a moment, probably longer than I realized. She looked smug, like she thought I'd just roll over and let it go, like I'd cave just to avoid conflict. But no, not this time. "You need to leave," I said flatly. She blinked. "What?" "You heard me. This engagement is over. I want the ring back, and I want you out of my house. Now." Karen's face turned white. She stammered, trying to backpedal, saying she didn't mean it like that and was just worried about her family's opinion, but the damage was already done. There was no coming back from what she said. No amount of rephrasing could undo the truth behind her words. I stood my ground, walked to the bedroom, grabbed her overnight bag from the closet, and handed it to her. "You have 10 minutes." She didn't speak after that. She just left. That night, I called Sam. I didn't want him to hear it from anyone else. I told him everything, what she said, how I reacted, and that I'd called off the wedding. He went silent for a moment. Then, in the softest voice, he said, "You didn't have to do that for me." I could feel my chest tighten. "Yes, I did," I told him. "Because if I let her talk about you like that, what kind of brother would I be?" He started to cry, and I did too. It wasn't a moment of sadness. It was a moment of clarity, of love, of reaffirming what really matters. A few days later, her family started messaging me. Nasty texts, voicemails, even one of her cousins trying to lecture me about family values and how I'd embarrassed Karen. I blocked them all. I'm not ashamed of my decision. If anything, I feel lighter than I have in months, like I dodged a massive, soul-crushing bullet. Because the truth is, love shouldn't come with conditions. Family shouldn't be treated like something you edit for optics, and someone who truly loves you would never ask you to turn your back on the people who made you who you are. So yeah, I'm not getting married anymore, but I still have Sam, and he still has me. And in the end, that's the only vow that ever really mattered.